Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. So I have been addicted to a website, empireavenue.com, and one of the stocks that I just invested in yesterday, as a matter of fact, is sitting next to me. This is a walking, talking stock. It's a real human being actually behind it, and that I knew him. I guess. Well, you were an investor in me.
Yeah.
But we met here at BlogWorld EXPO in real life. Syed. Sorry, I'm thinking lost.
Yeah,
you know,
everybody thinks that.
I'm sorry. I'm just kind of trained to do that. So you can feel free to say my first name wrong if you want.
No, it's good.
Not a big deal, because I'm all about parody. So we met in real life for the first time here at BlogWorld EXPO.
Exactly.
And you've been just as addicted to Empire Avenue as I have.
Yeah, and the addiction is more than just a game. It's, it's for engagement. Really, I'm freaking engaging with people, and people are like, "No, this is just a game. You're just buying stocks." I'm like, "No, when I'm buying stocks, I'm meeting new people like this guy. I never met this guy." Okay, so I came to BlogWorld. I'm like, "Perillo, I'm meeting you here," and next thing we know, we're both in the speakers lounge. Insider trading.
Yeah, we totally went to John Chow. That's right. He's up today, too.
Yeah, we got John Chow to join.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It's great.
Okay, so WP Beginner.
Yep.
That's his stock symbol, as well as Twitter handle.
It's WPB, this is the ticker.
Okay, WPB is the ticker, but they can search for WP Beginner on it?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm like Chris Perillo, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's WP Beginner on Twitter. And so WP is short for WordPress.
Yep.
And so what might someone learn from your whole world?
So WP Beginner was intended for audiences that want to read about WordPress in average person's language. rather than, it's not a blog written by developers for developers. It's actually written by a user for other users. So when you come to our site, you'll get how-to guides. So instead of paying a developer hundreds or thousands of dollars, you can actually do stuff yourself. And it's not that hard. People say, "Oh, coding is hard. What's not?" But if it's explained the right way, if you show every step by step, you can set up and improve your WordPress installation and speed it up. You can optimize it. You can add additional widgets, plugins, and whatnot. So it's a great resource, and right now we are one of the largest resources for WordPress. Aside from the codex, which not everybody can read. But,
yeah, that's a little tricky. Even when you're doing some theme editing, it can be, how do I get this to work?
Yeah, so started in 2009, and it's been good. It's been mentioned in Wired.com. It's been mentioned in Mashable. Mashable links to us all the time. Robert Scoble tweeted about it, and a lot of cool people have come to the site, enjoyed it.
Okay, so what brought you into the world of WordPress?
Actually, I wanted to start a blog in 2006. I was using Joomla.
Oh, right, yeah.
And
which really isn't.
No,
that's more of a CMS.
That's
like
more of a CMS,
blown.
yeah. And it wasn't filling the needs, and I said, check out WordPress, and got into 2006. In 2008, made a pivotal decision for our web design and development firm. Said we're not going to do any more static sites. Everything's going to be based on WordPress. And then we were getting hit by the same questions over and over, and we said let's create a FAQ guide, but then who's going to update that? So why not create a live site? And it turned out that there's a huge demand for it. Within the first 3 months, we were already in Wired.com, WebMonkey, and creating crazy amount of users. It was a really great experience.
Yeah, well, and so you're part of a web design firm.
Yeah, I was the founder in 2006. It was just the web design and development. We have 5 people, and we do work with a lot of startups like Flowtown.
Yeah, Dan
Martell from Flowtown. We did their blog design.
I saw that when I was looking at the portfolio. I'm like, I know half these sites.
Yeah, and Milo.com that got acquired by eBay. Pretty big deal. We did their blog design. We worked on some of Get Satisfaction stuff.
Okay.
We did SiteJabber's design. Zone Alarm. If you've been around for a long time, that's a firewall. And it's a pretty famous company. We did their blog design. Webs.com, Contact page. The client list just goes on. And we do a lot of blog designs, but what we focus on is the social media integration within that, and really enabling the users to go out and get more audience.
So do you think that, and you feel free to take a drink of your interview juice if you want. I'm going to take a sip of mine. Do you think then social media is just a fad? Is it just passing?
No.
No? What, do you think it's here to stay?
Yeah, it's here to stay.
I'm being flippant. Don't be too shocked. I agree with you.
I know.
But tell me why.
It's here to stay. Like, if your audience is people, what are you gonna do? Go door to door and knock their door and say, "Hey, I do this." You go on Twitter.
I do. What, you don't? Really?
No, I don't. I go on the little thing called search.twitter.com and I say, like, who's interested? You know, instead of going door to door and saying, "Hey, are you interested in this?" Twitter actually had that feature. You know, it's really funny. You go on Twitter, search.twitter.com, and you enter the keyword.
Now that you mentioned that, the other day you were telling me, just 2 days ago, you come here to New York. You're up from Palm Beach.
Palm Beach, yeah.
Down in Florida. You're staying at a hotel.
Yeah.
And this hotel did something not so nice.
Yeah.
So what you decided to do was basically buy a promoted tweet to let people know that this hotel did something not so nice. So give me the whole story. Give me the whole scenario.
So what happened was that I checked in for Hampton, and as soon as I came in there, like, your reservation has been dropped. And it's not that I reserved, 2 days ago, or it was a month in advance reservation. And I was like, okay, well, couldn't you have notified me a little earlier? And it was a huge miscommunication and, error on their part. So they moved us, and I was absolutely furious about it. So I'm like, you know what? And the manager wasn't paying attention and whatnot. So I'm like, I'm so pissed off at you. First of all, I'm going to start a gripe. For those of you who haven't checked out, it's a great app.
What is it?
It's called Gripe.
Gripe?
It's an app for iPhone, Android. You can, pretty much, tweet out your complaint and explain it. And then the Gripe staff, helps you get this thing together. They notify the hotel.
Really? I had no idea.
And it's a great app. So I tweeted it out, and a lot of my friends, pretty big, Calvin Lee, Mame Studios, he tweeted it.
Of course.
And a lot of other people retweeted it. And I just wanted to let everybody in BlogWorld know. And, guess this, I put a promoted tweet up maybe at like 9 p.m. The next morning, I had an email in my account, and they were working on resolving the issue. So, and last night, actually, around 7 or 8, I got a phone call personally from the manager, who apologized, and obviously Gripe took care of it, and social media was a huge part of it, and they got the issue resolved.
Wow.
They apologized, and they were like,
But you're the first person I've met who would have. Why did you purchase a promoted tweet on Twitter to help get the word out, and how did you target it, and what was the reaction from doing that? Any uptake?
Well, the promoted tweet was, if I just tweet it, most people in the blog world don't know who I am.
Right.
They're gonna ignore it. But what if a lot of people are following what's going on in the blog world, hashtag BWENY, or what's going on in the Book Expo America hashtag. So I just, targeted BlogWorld Expo, Book Expo America, all of their hashtags, and I targeted Hilton Honors. So everybody who's following Hilton Honors will see this and see how they treat another Hilton Honors member, because I'm going to stay at 4 Hilton Honors hotels within the next 30 days. So I need to grab their attention. It's what, like, and they were like, "Oh, we will move you and get you a night free." I'm like, money's not a matter at this point. It's about convenient. I wanted to walk to the place. Now I have to take a cab every day. So I used promoted tweet. It got the attention that I needed. I probably spent like $10, and it was very well worth $10 because I got, users were responding to it. Users were supporting it. People who I did not know went on Gripe and supported my cause.
Wow.
And they were like, this is just, bad customer service.
See, I've done that with my blog before, but is Gripe, how old is this? Maybe I've heard of it, maybe it's been...
No, Gripe actually is not that old. It probably came out about 6 months ago on TechCrunch Disrupt, or maybe a little bit longer.
Okay.
And that's where they did the intro, and I watched it, and I was like, this is a pretty cool looking thing. And
it seems to work very well.
Yeah, and what it does is you can pretty much connect all your Twitter account, social media accounts, Twitter, Facebook, Yelp, Foursquare, etc. And what it does is once you file a complaint, it actually goes into Yelp and it says, or TripAdvisor, it goes in and finds the hotel address. You can pretty much say, I spoke with XYZ person.
Wow.
So the corporate can really see it. So, essentially it's a thing for you to get the problem resolved right away. But I guess the time I was at, the manager had to run out because it was end of his duty. So it didn't work out so great. So
well, it seems like everything's turned out for the better.
Yeah, everything has turned out for the better, and the issue's resolved.
See, I had the closest thing I had to something like that. Well, I've had problems with hotels every time. I hate working or talking with hotels. I had a connection. I was trying to upload a video. This is a couple years ago at Macworld, like 2008, 7 or whatever, and they cut me off because I was pushing too much bandwidth.
Wow.
And so I get a message on my machine at the hotel, the phone, and I started to record a video and didn't say anything except for playback the message, and I'm just making faces to the camera. It's like how to piss off a nerd or how to piss off a geek. Somewhere on YouTube. It's one of those things. It got massively tracked. So, and they eventually reached out and said, sorry that this happened to you.
In the past, like I have done that, put it on a blog post, and actually I have a power user profile on Dig, StumbleUpon, and whatnot. So, stuff like that, people get pissed off, and, it goes viral. But I try not to do that anymore. I think Twitter is there to do just that and gripe, instead of like having this stuff on your blog, I would rather just use the application gripe and have it on somewhere else.
It sounds like I've got to remember that the next time I have a big issue. Like if it's a small thing, like yesterday at the hotel, right in the middle of just starting to shampoo, all of a sudden the water just stopped.
Whoa.
Like stopped.
Wow.
Like there was nothing. And I'm like, okay, this is, and shampoo's running in my mouth. I'm thinking this is fun. I basically got on Twitter and said something like, things I appreciate, hot showers.
Shampoo in your head?
No, things I don't appreciate, water stopping right in the middle of a shampoo. And I tweeted them. They haven't gotten back to me. I doubt they will. But I mean, it's an inconvenience. It's not like a massive, losing a reservation, etc. So it's good that you're using social media responsibly. And it does sound like you've taken a very clear, cogent approach. If you position your argument so you're not some kind of wackadoodle.
Exactly. And that's what the guy said. He goes, I sincerely apologize for this. It was not done intentionally, and I was in a rush. He had something personal going on at that time. That's why he couldn't stay. Otherwise, he would have stayed. And he explained the situation, how he got moved, and blah blah blah. And obviously, before I knew all this, I was pretty furious that the manager just walked out on me. But obviously he did. He had a personal issue.
And I think you set the stage very well, because some people out there think that, you need to be a huge name or personality to get attention. And as you set the stage, you said, well, not a lot of people may know about you. I mean, for Twitter, you got a very sizable audience. You got a good information database. You're obviously pretty well established. But I don't have 1 million followers, but I can still, if I use the tools the right way, draw as much of a conclusion to, or I guess a resolution to a problem as easily as someone with 10 billion followers.
Yeah, definitely. Socially, like within a moment of hours, I had already gotten the attention of Hilton Honor's Twitter staff. They already replied back and said, we're looking into the issue. I had an email right the next morning. I got another email through Gripe, because they posted on Gripe that we're looking into the issue. So they,
I gotta remember that.
Yeah, brands are really looking into it, and Gripe always expedite the process because they actually reached out. Obviously, they have the right contact emails, so they sent the email, said, okay, this is what's going on.
And it's not that I'm going to find things to complain about.
Yeah,
because I do. I complain about anything. Well, like this little cup of wine, this shot of wine they were trying to sell this to me for like $6.50, and I'm like, no. And he says, well, do you have a ticket? I'm like, I don't know. Where do I get a ticket? I got to be able to find a ticket. And is it Lynette? The purple? Yeah. Lynette, she offered her ticket. I'm like, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm like, for this wine, this is like a third bottle of wine. It's not a first bottle of wine. And for $6.50 for a shot glass? No way.
Not worth it.
I'm not going to sit there and complain. Because it's not as...
I think when it came out, people were like, that's a consumer's blackmail tool. Gripe is, but it's not when you use it responsibly.
Exactly,
and that's the whole point. You're not supposed to abuse the feature. You're supposed to use it when you've been done wrong.